One of the most exciting makeup launches of the year just dropped. Hung Vanngo has released his own makeup line, and I have so many goodies from the line to test out for you guys. I have eyeshadow, blush, bronzer, eyeliner, lipstick. We're going to have some fun today. So if you're a new viewer or subscriber, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. And if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. All right, let's get this party started. Today's going to be a fun day. I am so excited to try out Hung Vanngo's makeup line. This recently launched at Sephora. And if you're not familiar with Hung Vanngo, he is a fantastic and amazing celebrity makeup artist. He's worked with the top celebrities in the world, as well as the top fashion houses and designers. He is a makeup artist of over 20 years. He's originally from Vietnam and was raised in Canada. And he has just released his own makeup line, and I could not be more excited to try this out. And as you can see, I did buy a substantial amount of it, but it's because I am so excited to try this line out. So as you can see, I did purchase some eyeshadow palettes, some blush and bronzer, as well as one eyeliner and 2 lip liners, and a couple of lipsticks. So I'm so excited to try this out. As you can see, I dressed for the occasion, tried to keep with the red theme. I love the color of this packaging. It feels luxurious, but it's not heavy. According to Hung Vanngo, he wanted to make packaging that was easy to clean, which I think is fantastic because I do a lot of my makeup with my hands on a day-to-day basis. So to have a makeup line that is easy to clean, you don't have to fuss over, it feels good in your hands, and just so functional is really fantastic. And you can tell that he put so much care and attention into this line. If you go onto his YouTube page, he has a whole video explaining the line, and he also explains the names of the products, how he chose the names, how he chose the shades, and you could just see how much attention he paid to each detail in this line. For example, a lot of the names of the products have a special meaning to him. So the lipsticks reflect his journey as an immigrant and his background, as well as the blushes. And also the bronzers are names of character qualities that are important to him. And if you watch his YouTube video where he talks about the line and talks about all the shades, you could just tell he's so hardworking and humble and really just so invested in this line. This is not somebody just putting his name on a line. This is someone who is a true artist who just really wanted to make the line accessible to everyone, both everyday people and makeup artists alike. So I'm really excited to try this out. And first we're going to start with some bronzer. So here is the packaging. And like I said, this packaging is supposed to be very easy to clean. The feel of it is really nice in your hand. And just this color is stunning. I love this. I'm really excited about this launch. I think that everyone in the makeup community is very excited for this launch. And it's nice when we all, as a group, get excited about something. Like the Louis Vuitton collection. I know that was widely debated and everything, but a lot of people were excited, genuinely excited for it. And no matter what side of the debate you were on, whether you were for it or against it, it was still fun and exciting to have something that everybody was talking about and had a very strong opinion on. So this line, I genuinely think everyone is really excited to try. So here is the bronzer. And this is the shade Straightforward. And just to tell you a little bit about the product, this is a lightweight blurring powder bronzer that naturally warms and enhances skin. It has microspheres that blur the look of imperfections with a soft focus effect, and a natural powder polymer which improves blendability and wear while leaving a soft matte finish. All right, so let's swatch this. Ooh, I like the texture. Now, I chose, like I said, the shade Straightforward. This was not the lightest. I wanted to get something a little bit deeper than the lightest just to see how it would pull on my skin. Okay, so that is Straightforward. Kind of feels like a cream to powder, but as I'm buffing it onto my hand, it does look like it's blurring my skin. So I think this is going to look great on the face. Now, one thing that I think I've heard universally about this launch is that the bronzers and the blushes are pigmented. So in the video where Hung Vanngo announced the makeup launch, he kept talking about how important it was for him to make a makeup line that was universally flattering and workable for all skin colors. So whether you're very pale or you have a deeper skin tone, he really wanted to make makeup products that were universally flattering. So whether you're very pale or you have a deeper skin tone, he really wanted to make products that works for the wide range. So I think in doing that, he made the powders very pigmented. But let's see. It does look pigmented on the brush. And I'm just taking it and working it into the back of my hand. All right, here goes nothing. Okay, now it's coming in. Ooh, I'm actually going to go in with a BK Beauty 103 brush and put it on because I want a little bit of a broader application. Ooh, that's pretty. And I have to say, in looking at it up close, it is blurring. And not emphasizing texture on the nose there. So very easy to work with. Buildable. Even though it's pigmented, it's not too pigmented, which is great. Oh, what do we think? I think it's beautiful. Look how pretty that compact is sitting there. Not that packaging is the most important thing, but it does help, right? I think this is stunning. And I think you can wear this shade if you have fair to light skin. Just use maybe a bigger brush like I'm using to just buff it out. And then even if you do a little bit too much, like I did, you just, use your foundation brush, whatever's left on it, to just clean that up. And I'm just going back in with my Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N15 brush just for a little bit more of a concentrated application on the cheekbone here. Oh, this is a beautiful formula. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I think I could probably also get away with the lightest color. All right, so what do we think of the bronzer? I think it's beautiful. It's definitely blurring. And I think you can get away with this shade if you are fair or light. Just don't go in too heavy with a brush, but look at that. It's definitely blurring. And I think it's even more beautiful in person than it is on camera. It's simply stunning. Okay, so we are off to a very good start with this bronzer. Okay, so now moving on to the blush. This is called Second Language. And like I said earlier, a lot of the product names, especially the blushes, reflect Hung Vanngo's life and story as an immigrant. And he and his family had to flee Vietnam and go to Thailand. They were in a refugee camp for a while, and then they came to Canada. And he grew up in Calgary in Canada. So he has a really an amazing story, and he really put so many personal touches of his life story and his journey into this line. So including the names of the products, everything has a personal touch in this line. So really love that. And again, this blush is called Second Language, and this retails for $32, and there are 6 blush shades from the launch. Okay, so I believe the blushes are very pigmented also. So we're gonna go in with another Nikki LaRose N15 brush. Oh, let me swatch it for you quickly. Ooh. Ooh, I like the shade. Ooh, pretty. This is described as a rose pink. And according to Hung Vanngo, this is a creamy velvet powder blush that blends perfectly into the skin with a cloud matte finish that wears all day. It has shea butter, which helps hydrate and comfort. It has kaolin, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that, and that nourishes and balances, and it's great for sensitive skin. And it has silica microspheres, which blur imperfections with a soft focus effect. And that is the shade Second Language. All right, here we go. Oh, she's pigmented. She's strong. I'm just buffing this into my hand. Push the hair back because we don't need pink hair. Okay. Oh, I'm nervous because it's going to be pigmented, but I'm excited. Okay. Ooh. These products are definitely blurring on the skin, definitely. Ooh. Put a little on top, just make it cohesive. It just lays so nicely on the skin. Oh, it feels so nice. So I'm going to tone this down just a little bit, but what do we think? So normally I wouldn't wear this much blush. I just want to show you how much you can build it up. And also, like I always say on this channel, I overblush. It's my problem. It's not my only problem, but it is a problem. It's not a problem. It's just something we have to work with, right? Just taking my foundation brush and just tightening that up a little bit. So not to get up close and personal, but this is the blush. What do we think? I think these products lay beautifully onto the skin. When you feel it, it feels so soft. And I'm comparing it to another part of my face. It's so soft. It's like velvet. It's so nice. So that is the bronzer and blush combination. Oh, I love it. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to have to buy more shades. So I think the blush is beautiful. It just lays so nicely on the skin. It's pigmented, but not too pigmented. You can still work with it and really just get to the level of pigment that you want. But I'm in love with this line so far. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm not going to say I never do that. I know I say this with a lot of makeup products because I'm girly and I love pretty things. This is beautiful and I love it. But just look how nice my skin looks. It looks kind of like airbrushed and it's letting whatever glow I have coming through from underneath, it's still letting that come through. So really pretty. And I love the bronzer. So very happy so far with this. And now we're going to move on to one of the eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so these are the Color Story eyeshadow palettes. I picked up 2 of them. Let's admire the packaging for a second. Let's do a little show. It's color stunning. And there are 8 different color stories in the line. I picked up 2. I wanted to pick up more, but I was good. I was good for now. And I tried to pick color stories that would be helpful to everyone watching this video. So I picked up 1 neutral palette and 1 that has a fun pop of color. But there's a beautiful warm palette, green, blue, orange, purple. They all look so pretty. It was so hard to narrow it down. But again, I was trying to pick palettes that I would think that everyone watching would be the most curious about or would be able to incorporate into their makeup routine. So one of the palettes I picked up is the Rebellious red and pink. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. So you get a beautiful range of obviously pinks and reds. You get some shimmers, some mattes, beautiful. So I'm going to put up a graphic on the screen so you can see, but there are 4 different formulas. One is a satin formula that is a high def color intensity without glitter, that's shades number 1 and 4. Then we have a 3D creamy matte, which is a cream to powder that easily blends to lock down pigment, and that's shades number 2 and 5. Then we have a metallic, which is a max reflection and luminosity, shades 3 and 6, as well as a matte formula, which is a velvety texture with a true matte non-powdery finish, and that is shades 7 and 8. And these palettes retail for $49, and like I said earlier, there are 8 options to choose from. I was really torn between the warm and neutral palette. I wanted to pick up something that would be universally flattering for people watching this video, something that you might be interested in. I definitely want to pick up the warm in the future, but this time I went with the neutral palette, and this is called New Neutral, and that's stunning. And I will put the graphic up on the screen. But this also has the 4 different formulas. So the satin shade is shade number 8. The 3D creamy matte is shade number 5 and 6. The metallic are shades 2, 4, and 7. And the matte is shade 1 and 3. And just a little bit about the formula. So this is an ultra pigmented eyeshadow palette that features 4 unique finishes and high impact shades expertly coordinated in wearable color families. These have carnauba vegan wax, which improves wear and helps the formula set down to a smooth finish. It also has skin conditioners, which provide comfortable blendability and wear despite high level of pigments and pearls. And it also has vitamin E. So what we're going to do is swatch these, and then I'm going to create 2 different looks featuring these eyeshadows, and then we will also talk about the lipsticks that I picked up and the lip liners and an eyeliner. So a lot more fun to come in this video. So first we will swatch these palettes and then we will try out some eye looks. Okay, so here is the New Neutral palette. I always do that. I always go onto my wrist. I don't know why I do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to get better at this. So this is the New Neutral swatch. Just go in there right there. But she's pretty. So this is the swatch for Rebellious red and pink. And again, I'm sorry I went a little bit too much on the wrist there, but you get the idea. So according to Hung Vanngo, the reason why he made these color stories in the way that he did, and the fact that you only have really one color range or two color ranges per palette, is because he feels that sometimes when a consumer goes to the store and buys a palette, they'll have a neutral palette, but then they'll have a pop of a bright pink or a blue. And the consumer is a little bit confused because they're looking for a neutral palette, but then they have these pops of color that they don't know what to do with. So he wanted to keep it very simple and very easy for consumers and makeup artists alike. So on my eyes, I'm just throwing on a little bit of primer just because I feel like it does help with eyeshadow application. And even on camera, it blurs a lot of the imperfections that you wouldn't see in person, but if you're seeing them on camera, it's just very easy to see every little imperfection on the eyelid. So I like to just lighten up my base a little bit so that we have a clean canvas for the eyeshadows. Okay, so just a touch of that. And this is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden. So we're going to go with the neutral palette first. Okay, I'm going to go with shade number 3 here, this lightest shade first, just to give a coating to the eyelid. So I have to say, this is applying beautifully so far. Very creamy, and this is the matte formula that I'm using right now. And it's not supposed to be powdery, and I would agree with that. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's the first shade right there. I'm gonna go in this with this shade right here. This is one of the 3D Creamy Mattes. And I'm gonna start building that into the crease. And just comparing these in my hand, that this 3D Creamy Matte is beautiful. It is different than the traditional matte formula. It has a much more creamy consistency. It just feels like butter on your hand, honestly. Okay. Not emphasizing any dryness on the eyelid. It's really beautiful. Okay, so just continuing with that shade. And I'm going to go on the other side as well. So these are pigmented, but they're buildable, which is great. Okay. I feel like this palette is probably one of the more universally, flattering. And now I'm going to go into this shade right here and start building that up onto the outer corner. Oh. Oh. Oh, like I was saying, I watched Hung Vanngo's video introducing the launch, and it's really interesting to hear him talk about the line. And I felt like he was a kindred spirit. I really felt like he was just such a nice person, so down to earth considering who he is, line of work, and the celebrities he works with, and just how much success he's achieved. He just seems so down to earth and just so relatable and someone you would want to hang out with. He seemed like a really nice guy. So that is the look so far. What do we think? I'm so excited about this. Like, I can't wait to try the other color stories too. It's just beautiful. Now, I'm making this a little bit dramatic because if I do it too neutral, it's not going to pick up as well on camera. And I want to show you what you can really do with this. And what's nice is if you make a little mistake like I did, you just, buff it and fix it. But what a beautiful smoky eye that is, right? So if you're going for a neutral smoky look, now it's a little bit of a contradiction, but you know what I mean. A smoky eye look with a neutral undertone. You could even leave it like that, but I do want to add a little bit of sparkle. And I also want to take this lightest shade and go under the brow bone just to lighten it up a little bit. And Hung Vanngo said you can use your fingers or brushes with these eyeshadows. I just love how creamy these are when you feel them on your fingers. So pretty. Okay, so, all right, we're gonna make this a little bit sparkly. We're gonna get some sparkle gone. Which one to choose? Do I go with this one, that one, that one? Here, we're gonna go with this deep shade right here. I'm gonna pop it onto the middle right there. Ooh. And you could use a brush for this. I just like to use my fingers normally with a shimmer shade. Oh, wow, that is beautiful, right? Okay, on the other side. This is a really beautiful, bold shimmer shade. Practically no fallout. I see maybe a couple sparkles on an eyelash here or there, but no fallout. And I'm going to take this lightest shade right here, and I'm just going to pop it into the inner corner just to give it a little bit of brightness. So because I'm doing an intense lipstick with this look, I'm going to go a little bit easy on the eyeliner. I'm just going to take this dark shade right here and just sweep it across just for a little bit of eyeliner. Try not to poke myself in the eye. Yep, there it goes. Right in the eye. It's bound to happen. It always happens. So that is a beautiful formula to use as an eyeliner. Very, very easy to use. Pigmented, easy to smudge. Oh, and I do want to mention something about the packaging for the eyeshadow palettes and the packaging in general for the line. So on the eyeshadow palettes, you can see that the outside package has this very helpful information about which palette that you have. So if a makeup artist is digging into their pro kit, they can easily see which color story they're using, or if you're a girl like me that has way too many eyeshadow palettes and way too much stuff, you can easily figure out which color story you're looking for and just grab it and go. And then start to question why you have so many eyeshadow palettes and why you have so much makeup. But then you remind yourself that you could have worse qualities than that. So it all comes together nicely. Just wanted to mention that about the packaging. And I think it just really is a testament again to the level of detail that Hung Vanngo put into this line that really stems from his many years as a makeup artist. So I'm going to apply the lipstick now. I really love this eyeshadow look. Like, I think it is beyond stunning. It was easy to do, easy to work with. I love the monochromatic aspect of the palette because you can just really keep it very simple, but really glam it up if you want. And I think it's just a beautiful formula, very unique. And as I'm filming this video, I really love the blush and the bronzer. I think it's a very unique formula. I think it's very blurring. It's natural looking. You can really build it up. I think on this side I have it a little bit built up more. The bronzer is stunning. I'm loving this, and I'm honestly genuinely so happy that the hype is real and that the products are worth it. So now we're going to try a little bit of lipstick, and then we'll remove this eye look sadly and try out the pink and red palette. Okay, so let's talk lips. I did pick up 2 lip liners. This is Perfect the Edge. And this is a Accentuating Longwear lip liner. Okay, so that is Perfect the Edge. And also, like I said, with the eyeshadow palettes, Hung Vanngo did include the color of each product on the outside, so you can easily tell which shade you're going for. And the next color that I picked up, I'm really excited about, but I'm a little bit nervous. It's the Vanngo Red. And I'm only a little bit nervous because this is not a color I would traditionally wear. And the lipstick I picked up, I did pick up the Vanngo Red lipstick. Let me just show you. And the lipstick I'll show you on the other one I have does have Hung Vanngo's initials engraved into the lipstick. And as I was taking pictures of the product before I used them, I nicked the lipstick. So as much as I would like to tell you that I'm perfect and I never make a mistake, I obviously do. So that was a big mistake of mine, and I'm very upset, but it's okay. It's all right. As long as I have the color to try. Ooh. She's pretty. So that is Vanngo Red. And the next shade that I picked up is Limitless Sky. Okay, and that's it right there. And I'm sure you can see. And those are his initials right there. He said in his video going over the line that the Limitless Sky shade would be one of the top 5 lipstick shades that he would choose out of the line. So I think we're on the same wavelength. I think we are. So somehow I knew that was one of his favorites. So this is the one I picked up. Really excited to try this. And, ooh. Very pretty. Very pretty. So the lip liners come in 9 shades and they retail for $24. And it is an ultra pigmented creamy lip liner with a smooth gliding application for a precise finish that moves with your lips all day. And this has a run-resistant polymer which provides a smooth, soft film that never feels dry and ensures a smudge-proof long wear. And it also has silica in it, which enhances a smooth and even lay down of color and a soft focus effect. So let's try the Van Gogh Red Lip Liner. Bold. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my finger and smudge it a little bit. These do set down, so you don't have that much time to play around with it. So work quickly. Okay, so the lip liner's on. Let's pop on the lipstick. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay, so this is the lip color. It's not something I would normally go for. It's really bold. It's like a orangey red. What do we think? Okay, so I look different because not only do I have the lipstick applied, but I changed my top because the top that I had on was just too matchy-matchy. It was just too much for this lip color. So this is Van Gogh Red. And what do we think? I think as far as the formula goes, it's definitely pigmented. Hung Vanngo said that he made this so that it would be a one swipe and you're done. So I definitely agree with that. It's very creamy. It's supposed to be a matte formula, but it is not a true matte. It is a creamy matte. So you have to be a little bit careful with smudging it with a color this bright. A couple times when I was trying to apply lip liner, I messed it up a little bit and just had to go back and touch up my foundation. And I think with a color this bold, you're better off with a darker lip liner. So I went back in with the darker lip liner that I picked up in the shade Perfect the Edge. And I think it definitely helped with contouring the lip a little bit and making it a little bit toned down. But what do we think? So this is not a color I would normally gravitate towards, and I knew that when buying it. I wanted to try it because it's Hung Vanngo's signature color, so I wanted to give it a shot. And for $29, I think you can experiment with a lot of colors in the range and not put such a significant dent in your pocketbook. So I think this is going to be perfect for holiday parties. I do go to a lot of Christmas and holiday parties around the holidays, and I think this would be a beautiful color with a little black dress. And I think just going out, that kind of look, this is a beautiful color for. Am I going to wear this to the office? Probably not. But I think it's a beautiful shade, and the formula is very creamy. You really don't see any lines in my lip. So the more I'm wearing the color, the more I'm getting used to it, just because it was a little shock at first. And with the fact that I had on the red blouse to match, it was a little bit too much. But now that I've used the darker lip liner and I've let it sink in a little bit, I do love the color and I love the formula. So something different. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I want to hear what you think. Would you ever try this color? Do you like a bold reddish orange lip? Let me know in the comments. And I want to go back in quickly to the eyeshadow and just pop a little bit more this shade right here into the middle just to perfect the look. And normally I would obviously put on mascara and eyeliner on top probably, But since I'm going to be changing this up to do the other eyeshadow palette, I'm not going to do that right now. And I think having that bolder eye would also help with the lip, because right now you have this really bold lip and you don't have any mascara on. So I think that would probably help tone it down as well, make the face look more cohesive. But in person, it's really pretty and the formula is great. So not something I would normally go towards, but I'm happy that I tried it and I am impressed with the formula. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. So let us move on to the Rebellious red and pink palette. And as you can see, I've put my original blouse back on because I'm a professional and we're going to be consistent here. Okay, so taking this shade right here, and I'm just using my fingers initially just to see how it applies. Oh, that's a nice shade. And I did put the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer on to freshen it up. Very creamy. I feel like so many of these shades you could probably do as a one and done, which is a beautiful thing because we don't always have time to do a full glam look. I was listening to Nikki LaRose's video demoing the brand and testing out one of the palettes, and she was talking about how she thinks that Hung Vanngo is really bringing glam and color back to the forefront of the makeup world, that the clean girl makeup aesthetic is kind of fading off into the distance, and we are bringing back full glam, full color, and I'm here for it. Let me know in the comments down below if you are too. And not that I don't like a clean girl look, but I do love colorful eyeshadows and colorful lipsticks and things like that, so definitely excited for that. And just taking my brush and going into, let's see, this shade right here, and just popping that over the lid. I just love how I'm not getting any fallout from these. So creamy. Okay. So again, this would be a beautiful one and done shade or two and done shade, just like I've done here. And now I'm actually going to mix a couple shades. So I'm mixing this one and this one. And just kind of working that into, okay. Really pretty. I just love the finish it's giving to the eyelid. Very creamy. And I think that these products give you a lot of control with where you put them. They're not running away. They're not being sneaky and running off somewhere. Okay. And now I'm going to build up this red color right here on the bottom of the palette. I'm just going to very lightly try to build that into the outer corner. Getting a little bit of fallout here. Or maybe a little bit more. So I'm getting a tad bit fallout. I'm just going to go in with this smudger brush and kind of just... I'm just going in with this red shade down here and just lightly working that into the outer corner. Look how beautiful this is. And now I'm going to take this shade right here and pop it into the middle. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Very creamy. Very creamy. That's it on the finger there. This would be a pretty Christmas or Valentine's Day palette to use. And there's no fallout with this shimmer shade. And I'm just going to this one right here, again with my finger, and just popping it into the inner corner. These are very creamy. I feel like these would be good on mature eyelids because of the creaminess. So I'm getting a touch of fallout, but that's okay. Nothing crazy. And I'm just going back in with this shade right here to just put a little bit more in the crease to build that up. Give it a little bit more dimension. And I'm just taking what's left on my concealer brush and just cleaning up the edges a little bit. I can't wait to try the other color stores. But a Valentine's Day look, a Christmas look, so pretty. And this is just one way you can do it, right? I tried to use as many shades as possible. Would I use every shade every single time? No. But I wanted to show you how versatile the palette is. And I did pick up an eyeliner. This is called Use Your Own Judgment. And this is supposed to be a long-wearing eyeliner. And so I'm going to apply the eyeliner off camera just because it's hard to do on camera and it's not that exciting for you to watch. So I'm going to apply it and then come right back. Okay, so this is the finished look with the eyeliner and the mascara. And Hung Vanngo did also come out with a kohl eyeliner. I did not purchase that at this point. I will in the future probably, but this is the finished eyeliner and eyeshadow look. What do we think? And I also put on mascara, but what do we think? I think it is a stunning eyeshadow formula. I think it's very unique. It's so easy to use. The color payoff is fantastic. They are pigmented, the eyeshadows, but they're not too pigmented. I think it's gorgeous. Let me just look at this. It's just stunning. There's nothing else to say other than it's stunning. And I can't wait to try the other color stories because I feel they will be just as beautiful. And the eyeliner went on flawlessly. It was easy to use. It wasn't dry. And once it sets down, it sets down. So you don't have that much time to work with it. Put a little bit on top, and then on the waterline on the bottom with a little mascara. And I'm just loving this look. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. So to complete this look, we're going to go in for the lip. This is the Perfect the Edge lip liner. And I did use this lip liner with the Van Gogh red lipstick before. Okay, so now that the lip liner is on, we're going to apply Limitless Sky. And these lipsticks come in, I believe, 14 shades at Sephora. And then there are a number of shades that are exclusive to Hung Vanngo's website. I believe that 4 of them are exclusive to his website. So I would encourage you to go to his website to see the full range of options. Okay, so this is Limitless Sky. This is definitely more of a me shade. But you see how my lips look? I think it just really blurs the lips. It's very hydrating. It's not your traditional matte. I mean, between Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Hung Vanngo, recently all of the matte lipsticks I've tried in the last few weeks, they are not your traditional matte. They're much more hydrating, which is a good thing because I don't like a lipstick that's too matte, but this is a beautiful shade. Kind of like a wine color. And with this eyeshadow, I could see why this is one of his favorite shades. This is beautiful. This I love. This I could see myself using a little bit more than the other shade, but maybe I'll turn over a new leaf and start wearing a red orangey lipstick all the time. Who knows? But this is beautiful. And the formula is easy to work with. I would say you have to be a little bit careful. It stays that smooth consistency. It doesn't really set down in the time that I had the other lipstick on. And this one, it doesn't really feel like it ever sets down fully, which is a good thing because it's not drying. But you just have to be a little bit careful. As you can see, it's smudged a little bit. I think that was also with me taking off the last lipstick and then putting this one on. I think it just stained my skin a little bit, but that's not the product's fault. It's just, you know, doing what I do here on YouTube. I have to swatch out a lot of products, and sometimes that happens. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you like the shade? What do you think so far of the formula from what you can see? I think it's beautiful. this is the whole look. So now it's time for me to give you my final thoughts about the Hung Vanngo collection. Um, I think this is probably one of the most exciting and one of the best releases of 2025. I know the year's not over yet, but I honestly think that a lot of these products are very unique. The bronzer and the blush, I can't get over. I think they're stunning. They're very blurring on the skin. I think it's a very unique formula for both of those products. So those products alone are standouts. I think that the eyeshadows are divine. I really do. I think they're so fun to work with. I think that you get a great range of colors in each color story. A lot of times you don't want to combine weird colors with each other. You just want a particular color story and you want to be able to explore different colors within that range. And I think that these palettes allow you to do so. It went on flawlessly. It looks beautiful. It's not emphasizing any texture. I think it would work for mature skin. Really beautiful. The eyeliner, too, was very precise, not smudging at all. Like I said, Hung Vanngo did come out with a kohl eyeliner. So if you're looking to smudge your eyeliner, I would encourage you to try that formula. From what I've seen so far in other people's reviews, it does look beautiful, and I hope to pick it up soon myself. But I think the other eyeliner formula that I used today is beautiful. And the lipstick, it's a gorgeous formula. The Van Gogh Red, I was a little bit shocked by it first, but I actually was sad to take it off. When I had it on for a little while, I put on a different blouse that wasn't so matchy-matchy. I think that was throwing me off, and I put on the deeper lip liner. I thought it was a beautiful shade. This shade in particular, the Limitless Sky shade, I could see why it's one of Hung Vanngo's favorites. It's beautiful. It's something I'll get a lot of use out of, and I love the way this whole look goes together. So, like I said, I think that this launch is a beautiful one. I think it is one of the most exciting and unique launches of the year, and I have a feeling that these products will be in a lot of best of videos by the end of the year. I think it'll be in mine too. Couldn't be more excited to try this. So happy with the products, with the looks I created. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Let me know if you're planning on picking up any of these colors. Let's get a conversation going down in the comments. I love to hear your feedback, and I appreciate all of your time. If you're a new viewer here, welcome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video with me. I would love it if you were to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Also, please leave me a comment, like this video. I love interacting with each and every one of you in the comments down below. You guys, when you leave me a comment, it really makes me smile. And to know that you're enjoying my content here on YouTube, it makes my day to know that. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.